We have game 4 tonight in Dallas between the Mavericks and the Timberwolves. Of course, a lot more surprising than the Celtics series. This could also end in a sweep tonight. That is because Dallas beat them at home the other night, Sunday night, in game number 3. Let's start this by hearing from Kyrie Irving. Of course, him and Luka, there's been a lot of talk, them being the best backcourt ever. I think that we need to calm down a little bit with that. I love the amount of money that Kyrie and Luka have been putting in my pocket here the last couple of weeks, but we can relax with that talk. Let's see what Kyrie thinks about it.
How do you just take in, the accolades when people talk about you and Luka as possibly the greatest backcourt in NBA history? Thank you.
Who said that?
It's a lot of talk about that. It's a lot of talk that you and Luka are the greatest backcourt in NBA history.
I mean, it doesn't mean anything if we don't win a ring together.
There you go.
I say that very responsibly too. Not saying that we aren't great now, but there are other backcourts that are more deserving right now for that recognition. And I think once we put a good run together and we could look back on it and reflect on it, then that'll be our time. But right now, I want to show a lot of respect to the guys that have come before us and have actually did it. And our time will come. We just got to keep putting in the work and continue to feed each other that positive affirmation energy, and we'll go from there, man. But right now, we're just focused on enjoying the moment, enjoying how well we're playing as a team. And, you're seeing some special basketball from me and Luka, but we wouldn't be here without our teammates. So full-on team success, man.
Wow.
I gotta tell
this guy's amazing. He's done a 360 with life. I don't know who his new guru is, what couch he's sitting on. If you have a friend that's giving you this positive attitude, be friends for life, because I've never heard this guy talk so well and say all the right things. I don't care about your views about flat earth or all the other crap. I'm going to tell you, Carver, this new Kyrie, this guy's got it figured out, bro. All the right answers.
We've brought it up a few times the last few weeks. I don't know what positivity boot camp this guy went to in the last 12 months, but he seems like a different guy, and I think it's going to get paid off. Cam, the way that he's acting, the way that he's speaking, the way that he's acting, and the way that he's playing are all going to get paid off, and he is going to be so gassed up to potentially play Boston in that NBA final, a place where he had, obviously things went very poorly for him there. He's gone, remember he went there with the Nets and he was stomping his foot on the Celtic at center court. There's going to be a lot of hostility there with him. But he's Mr. Positive now. It's not going to bother him, Cam. He's got such a positive outlook on everything. He's going to be just fine. I can't wait for the Mavericks to beat the Celtics. I'm not going to lie to you, Cam. I can't wait to watch that series next week. But we got to get through this one first. -1.5 for the Mavs tonight at home with a 211.5 total. So total up a little bit here, Cam, for this game number 4.
All of them are going over. I don't know how you bet an under. Every time I try to bet an under, I slap myself upside the head and say, are you an idiot? It doesn't matter. These games are all going over. I'm going to tell you this, Carver. I learned this a long time ago, and I'm one of those guys. When a team's down 3-0, we covered with the Pacers on the points. I don't think this series is over. I think Minnesota steals this game and maybe loses in 5 or 6. This is almost crazy. I don't see a sweep. I'm going to give the Timberwolves one more shot tonight. I know it's probably not a popular play. A little bit of an extension. You talked about the length between games in the finals.
Well,
give me the T-Wolves tonight. I'll take them on the money line.
I think that's something that for the conspiracy theorists out there, Cam, and there are some, I don't necessarily agree with this theory, but I'm sure there are many who believe that the word has been put out by Adam Silver and the NBA to the refs tonight. We need more games. So leaning to the Minnesota side tonight, especially, Cam, when you look at the disparity in free throws the other night, which, of course, Minnesota brought up a billion times. What was it, 32-16 or 33-17, whatever it was. They had double the amount of free throws. I think you could see a little bit of a ref leaning on the Minnesota side to at least try to get them that 5th game, as you mentioned, in a couple of nights in Minneapolis. We shall see. The most bet player props for tonight's game: Anthony Edwards over 26.5 points, Naz Reid over 18.5 points and rebounds, Irving over 23.5 points, Ant over 6.5 boards, Jaden Hardy over 5.5 points. Other night, Cam, me and Lisi had Luka, Kyrie, and all 30-plus in a parlay. Anthony Edwards had 22 at the end of the third quarter. He scored like 4 points in the fourth quarter and let us down. So I think I might go back to it tonight. Maybe I'll bring Kyrie down to 25. Maybe I'll do 30, 30, 25. But I kind of just been mixing the stars.
I don't want to be with the public on that play, but 26.5 for Edwards. If I'm betting the Timberwolves, I got to take the over there. And I agree with that. Naz Reid over 18.5 points and boards. But I'm going to smash Edwards tonight. I think he gets 32.
If you think the Timberwolves can win the 4 in a row, it's 11-1. I'm not going to lie to you, Cam. I feel like I need a lot more than that to even attempt that. That doesn't seem like much to me. Like, wouldn't the better play, if you really thought they were going to do that, wouldn't the better play be the 40-1 to win the title? You know, because then you got them with 40-1 if they somehow ended up. Like, 11-1 just doesn't seem like enough, Cam, at least in my eyes.
I agree with you. I want I'm thinking like 16-20. In that range seems a little more realistic. But I did take Carolina in that situation. You know, remember when they were down to 3-0, things got interesting there. You could be in a position, Carver. I'm going to say this. I think Minnesota wins tonight and they win the next game and lose in 6. So I do agree with your theory of if you're going to take them, but it's almost one of those situations where you have to do the math and figure it out. I think this series will get extended, though. I'm betting them tonight, and I think they can win one more game.
Jeez. Yeah, I could see what you said. You're right. You have to really sit down and do the math. You might be better off rolling it, rolling the money line over. There's probably some other ways that you could go about it and get yourself a little bit better than that 11-1 is for you there. All right, so we have that for tonight, and we saw the title odds there. We did throw them up. Celtics are minus 225, Mavericks plus 185, and there's the 40-1 for Minnesota for the old thing. Nuts. Only 3 teams left.
Yeah. So you're telling me the Boston Celtics are like that much better than the Mavericks? Like, I don't understand some of the I don't see it that way, but you know, I would have made Boston. What would you make Boston? Minus 140, 150?
Look, the way the regular season they've had and the way that they've breezed through everything, look, the Mavericks have only played how many more games than them, right? I mean, the Mavericks had a little bit of a push in the first round. You know, Mavericks have kind of breezed through everything too, right, Cam? Especially if they get the sweep tonight. I mean, they've not only played that many more games than the Celtics have played so far in the playoffs. So I think minus 225 is a bit heavy, honestly, for the Celtics. So that's why, Cam, that initial line, and you're already seeing some out there. I saw like plus 205 for the potential head-to-head. I'm probably going to go in for a little bit more Maverick other than what I have